So, Sally, let's kind of get right into it. Let's talk about your childhood. Did you know Christ? Did you have a foundation of faith when you were little? Or was this something that came later in life?
So I actually was blessed to grow up in a Christian family. I would say I've never not known Christ. Growing up,
Wow.
baptized when I was a child, although that is wrong because I know that like baptism has to be through immersion. You have to know Christ in order for you to be baptized. But I was baptized as a baby. I grew up in the church. I grew up serving as well, although I did not really know God. So everything that I did was from a place of religion. Like I know that there is a God and we have to go to church every Sundays. We have to pray if we are worried, like we should be scared of going to hell. So I never really had a relationship with God. I just followed religion out of fear until I
Mm,
was in my 20s, I would say. Just actually when I was about to turn 20, the one question that I've always asked myself is why exactly am I here? Because I truly believe that I truly believe then that there's a deeper purpose to life than just going towards the next big thing, like wanting to get a job and then get married have kids. It's like, why exactly are we here? What exactly is life about? So that was the first question that I always used to ask myself, what is life about? And secondly, just where does true joy, true peace come from? Because I always used to chase materialistic things, chase the things of the world, like followers, relationships, um, getting the latest iPhone, getting a lot of friends, being popular, because I thought that was what would give me joy. So I like a lot of goals because I've always been so goal oriented. I'll be like, okay, when I get this, I'll be happy. When I get that, and I get all of these things, and it's just like a quick happiness, and then I get back to being so sad and anxious,
mm,
and I'm like, what exactly am I missing? Because I thought when I have the boyfriend, I'll be happy. I thought when I have the friends, I'll be happy. I thought when I have the
mm,
phone, when I have the car, how exactly am I still not happy? And so, like, because I've always known God, I think that was the first time that I really heard of Him from a relationship point of view. Like, just God
mm,
telling me, because I would pray because I was this, but not necessarily because I knew God. So I just prayed like God really can't find joy. Like, I'm not always anxious. Like I'm always living in fear. Please help me. I just heard God tell me that I am the answer. I am everything. I've always had a lot of questions and like God just told me, Jesus is the thing.
mm,
Where does purpose come from? Jesus. Where do I get peace, Jesus? Where do I get true joy, Jesus? What
mm,
I hear, Jesus? So I think that is how I got to intentionally have a relationship with God, not just going to church because it's a Sunday, everyone has to go to church, but because I want to know God for myself, and I started to experience the joy that comes from His presence. Like I believe that was the one thing that I like the most when it comes to letting go of anxiety, because being in the presence of God is like medicine for your soul. It's like you
mm,
automatically feel so peaceful. You feel so joyful. Like the floating clouds, literally. That is how I always feel in God's presence. So from a relationship point of view, got to experience the joy and peace that comes in God's presence. And God definitely answered a lot of questions that I had with regards to purpose, how to live life.
wow. So it was all about you had a religious upbringing, but you didn't have a
Yeah.
relational upbringing,
Yeah.
and that was learned later, and that's something that's important because there's a lot of people that they know of God, they know of Jesus, but are they truly walking with Him each and every day? do are they serving him, or are they just abiding into the fruits of the church but not into the fruits of his spirit, which is really the most important part. So Sally, that's amazing to hear at such a young age. You kind of got that to click. But when that started to transition for you, once you realized that his peace was beyond understanding, when it was his grace that allowed you to expand your life to really experience the fullness of life, what happened in your life at that point? Did things just look at a different lens? Did you see color on the earth for the first time? What was going through your mind at that point, Sally?
Oh, I would definitely saw color. Like I definitely understood that there's a meaning to everything. God just reminded me of like He creates everything for a meaning. Like the tree has purpose, the flower has purpose, a chair, a bed has purpose. Everything has purpose. So what more my life? So I began to look at everything from a purposeful point of view. And the one question that I always say my breath of life, 10 verse 31, it says, whatever you do, do it for the glory of God. So I'd say that is what purpose was to me. That is what changed with my life. Everything that I did was to glorify God. I always ask myself, because I know that that is how I got joy. Like when God gets the glory out of me. So I'm like, okay, how can I glorify God with my, because I social media is a distraction, and I'm like, how can I use that to give God glory? And God taught me, or like convicted me of the way I used to dress. While I was in the world, I used to dress for worldly validation, very promiscuously, to seek attention, all the wrong attention from the world. And now loving being of God, always asking myself the question of how can I give God glory? God led me to dressing modestly, and I always thought that modest dressing is for old people. It is not. So God gave me the idea to use my platform to actually show people that you can be modest and fashionable. And it's just like the color came to my life, one of the different things that God made colorful, from me dressing promiscuously to get worldly validation, to God transforming my view on modesty, and um, teaching me how to use my platform to show others that you can dress in a way that glorifies God. So I'd say that is definitely one of the ways that my life changed. And I would say also with regards to romantic relationships, because growing up when I was in my 20s, I always idolized relationships. I literally thought that having a boyfriend would be my savior. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. I think it's because social media over idolizes relationships, and the type of music that I used to listen to back then. So I thought, okay, I need a boyfriend, because once I get a boyfriend, my life is complete. Like I have a perfect life, and I seek and I longed for that so much that I would go to like dating apps trying to find a boyfriend. I would just go far and beyond and just do what I know that I'm not supposed to do, just so I could get the wrong attention. And God, with me giving my life to Christ, He definitely changed that perspective. He let me know that I am seeking for a relationship from a place of loneliness that a man cannot fill, from a place of loneliness that only God Himself can fill.